So,
How is my
apparently
favorite going?
Good, good.
It's good.
So apparently the mention of betrayal was the information that the priest slipped during that interrogation in which he mentioned the whereabouts of Liechtenstein. Which I didn't betray anyone. I maintained my resolve.
What are you doing here in Kuttenberg?
That's a good question. Jobst thinks I'm his spy.
You're not.
I gave him some information before I had to go into hiding, but it's complicated. Jobst thinks, quite foolishly I might say, that he'll be able to make a deal with Sigismund.
You don't believe Job's plan will work?
Trusting your own plan tends to be a big mistake. It's better to assume something will go wrong. That's why I always have at least 2 plans, and the backup includes all of Sigismund's opponents. The city is full to the brim with them. Nearly every noble house has lost some property to him. They can't do much on their own, but if they joined forces, now that could make a difference.
Why are the Jews helping you?
Because I asked them to. Most Christians avoid Jews. And probably wouldn't even think of looking for something or someone here. Besides, the local Jewish community have no love for Sigismund or von Berkhoff. So I don't have to worry about someone ratting me out.
They know von Berghoff.
Sadly, they do. Von Berkhoff instigated a pogrom in Prague. Not long ago, our new king gave him his blessing. Those who survived fled here or to Kolin. It's complicated. This isn't chess, and the lords aren't all black or white. Each of them has their own interests. Just because they can't stomach Sigismund doesn't mean they'll side with us.
So you're sending me there to find out where he stands?
You could say that. I suspect he might be inclined to ally with us, but as I said, nothing is certain. If it works out, it will be a great accomplishment. Kunzlin was respected among the former councillors.
Why would he need convincing? You said he had had a serious quarrel with Sigismund.
Sigismund has made many enemies in Kuttenberg. He kicked off important burghers from the council, confiscated patricians' property, and imposed taxes and duties on them. But he's not stupid. He hasn't completely beggared anyone, so they'd still have a lot to lose if they confronted him directly.
He just made them fear him.
I'd rather call it caution, but you're essentially right.
fine. Good doggy, good boy.
Those are the guys I clobbered. Yeah, I don't blame them. Hobbling around. Does she have a torch?
Oh, fine. Good doggy, good boy. Stupid.
Good to see you.
God be with you.
Hmm.
You said you needed some help with something. What's going on?
Something's happened. Oh, a real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Tell me all about it. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked as a maid. I heard they found her all hacked up, tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
Do you think there could be something bigger behind the murder?
I don't know. Maybe she just got caught up in something. But it's strange. Why would someone do her like that? That's the kind of thing you do when you want to send someone a message.
What was Alice trying to find out for you?
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something someone would kill her for?
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, lively. She was looking forward to a dance. Though I'm afraid she won't be dancing ever again.
What about your other girls? Are they all right?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
What are you going to do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following them and the like, but...
But you don't want to scare them.
I'm scared myself. For them. Maybe nobody knows about them yet. If someone was to follow me, I could give them away. And I can't risk that. I don't want anyone else to die because of me.
What if I go and see them?
They don't know you, Henry. You'd only scare them. I'll figure something out. In the meantime, find out everything you can about Alice.
I know everything I need.
Good. Go to that graveyard, talk to the gravedigger, and take a look at that poor girl's body. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more. Then we'll put it all together, and I'll be damned if we can't come up with something.
Hopefully I don't botch this one. for petty thievery.
This horse must have cost a pretty groschen.
I forgot what I paid for this horse.
Don't be shy. Come closer and take a look. Quality goods here. The finest wares. Quality goods.
I can tell that guy that's wanting to steal that wine recipe that I couldn't get it. Just gonna have to do everyone else and work a hard life. I think that's him actually.
Give it a taste.
See if I can reject this quest.
An elegant and lean flavor, light aroma of exotic fruits, and a color that has
Christ,
sparkle.
pardon me.
This is my white wine. Give it a taste. Taste the delicious Kugelberg wine from the best grapes ripened in the Czech sun. Hey, listen. Say
Fame has
thumb.
attracted many scholars, with many aspiring to the office of parish priest. But since silver made the city rich,
Where does the water come
townsfolk
from?
have become
Here, in
unwilling
the middle
to
of the city.
share with Maline. The rest, you know already. The foundations of a new cathedral were laid on land belonging to Gniewi's parish, a stone's throw from the city
Fountain?
wall.
Where does the
Many
water come from?
years have passed.
Here, in the middle of the
The
city.
cathedral walls are half built, and the two parishes are still a dagger's draw. What can our Lord think when he sees us all at each other's throats? Does it really matter where we pray to him and where we worship him? God willing, this dispute will be settled soon for the good of us all.
Taste the delicious
Willkommen. Ich bin gleich bei dir.
Blacksmith's kit. We need an armorer's kit. Hmm.
I'd like to do something about that price.
Was soll's? Warum nicht?
Is this enough?
That's more like it. Lower your price a little more and we can make a deal. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Das war ein gutes Geschäft, mein Herr.
Ja, ja.
The best wine comes from Czech soil!
What was it I wanted?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
It sure does. Go on then. How was it?
What can I say? Ah, a whole different world.
What's the matter? Did you know her?
Alice. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day, she just didn't come home. And then, I found her. Like this.
What do you mean, like this?
You haven't seen her yet, have you?
I haven't.
Then don't. It's a horrible thing to see. She was such a pretty girl. She had such beautiful brown hair. And it didn't even leave that untouched.
What do you mean?
Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
He couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
What others?
You haven't heard. A few girls, like our Alice, died before. All really pretty girls.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now. So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place they found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look.
Examine her mouth.
Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick trophy? Just some scratches and bruises, that's all.
He was armed. Said he hacked her up with a sword.
The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they are by the body. He also cut off most of her hair.
We don't know either one of these. I don't think it has anything to do with Catherine.
Somebody mutilated her and left her lying there as a warning. But for whom? Probably for someone who knows they're doing something wrong. Maybe Catherine is right, and they did it because of her.
Girl. Why couldn't you have been more careful?
Who's this guy? He's the gravedigger.
Good day. What would you like?
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do. Ha!
They too will eventually fall.
They too will fall silent someday.
True that. What can I do for you?
That dead girl you have in the morgue. Alice.
You've seen her? Poor thing. Who could have done such a thing?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Do you know anything about her?
She's gone to meet her maker. What more do you want to know? You want to take away a piece of her? Well, you can't. Not a hair off her head, a bloody scrap of cloth or a thumb. You hear?
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
I'm worried about her. My friend, I've been sitting here by the lords of Lapaya. I want justice. We're gonna go for...
I'm in service of the Lords of Lipa. I'm to find out who was responsible for this murder.
What do the Lords of Lipa care about a dead girl?
Truth be told, not much. But it's at the request of... her master.
Ah, that makes more sense. At least someone is trying to sort this out. The others weren't so lucky. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those... gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And how did he come to that conclusion?
How do I know? Best ask Lumiere yourself.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you.
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle. Though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk, but Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
It's my pleasure, especially helping someone from the land of the living again. Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
I know. I've already spoken to her.
Aha. Good then. Lots of luck to you. Farewell, my friend.
Let's go here first.
Nobody wants to hear it.
Everything all right? Hey?
Must have cost a pretty grosh.
Pebbles.
You silly doggy. Christ, what a day. Useless! Ha! We'll finish this quickly.
It was him there! The
Ha!
rider!
Yield!
Hurt anyone else?
Come and take your pick.
Buy 2 pots. I've got lots. Have a bowl.
Christ,
as well.
Woo!
Watch
out with that horse.
We've got enough to go around. Anything you need.
Fine! I'll make you surrender!
Oh, gosh.
Enough! I give up!
You've been loitering around where you shouldn't have. And I've received reports of things going missing. Don't think we're idiots. You've been accused of theft. You'll pay a fine, and if I don't find those things on you, you'll pay for them too.
No.
All right, I'll pay. I don't want any trouble.
Now, let's have a look at what you've stolen. Show me the goods. And if I find anything else on you that doesn't belong to you, I'll confiscate that too.
Take a look then.
Good. You don't have anything else on you that doesn't belong to you. In that case, an indulgence will suffice. Now be on your way.
These days, if it's not tied down, they'll steal it.
Are you shitting me? What a way to make some groschen.
Be on your way.
Buy 2 pots. I've got lots. Have a bowl.
People forget about that crime. Sucks.
Christ, wound! Watch out for that horse.
Come and take your pick.
Keep your eyes on the road, you fool!
Easy. Nice and slow. Whoa! This is the place. There's a lot of blood and some footprints. I'm not sure how much more I'll be able to find. Christ, that's a lot of blood. But after seeing what they did to the girl, I'm not surprised. I can't make anything out of this. The whole town's been walking around here. There could have been one killer or a dozen. I'm surprised I haven't completely trampled out the blood. I'm not sure I'll be able to find any remains. I wonder what happened to them. It's hard to make out, but I think I see some slashing from a blade. So, there's still a lot of blood left, but I expected even more. I found some faint blade marks. Either the others were trampled out, or someone skilled was wielding it. It didn't look to me like any remains were left lying around. I've no idea what he did with them. Did he keep them or throw them away?
Aye, aye, you silly doggy.
Did you hear that Dirk Stallion is shagging Naz's old woman?
If you know it, then so does half the town. And that goes to Councilman Nas as well.
Of course he knows. He's the one sending him there. What are you talking about? It's gospel. They say she's mad. But the old man just isn't up to it anymore. He wanted her to stop pestering him, so he made a deal with Dirk Stallion.
Christ. But wait, didn't Dirk used to come to your place a lot too?
Aye, and he still does. God, at least I have time to play dice.
You feel like rolling a few tonight?
Well, sure.
We didn't find anything there.
Damn it! Don't you know how to ride a horse?
Easy. Nice and slow. Whoa, whoa.
Go to the town hall, talk out
and decide what to do.
It can't go on. Stop by the end of the charge. Pick up that book.
What's that times 2?
Nice and slow.
Enough for everyone!
This is my white wine. Give it a taste. The taste is full and intoxicating. The smell of a summer eve, a sweet red, a sparkling white.
Hopefully. But it cost me all the money my pa left me. I even had to sell the ring.
Easy, good horse.
Christ, wounds! Watch out with that horse!
Hey, listen. Say thumb.
Thumb?
Stick it up your bum.
Lumiere?
Oh. Oh. Christ, my head. Not so loud.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion.
I might have that on me.
This should sober him up. Here. Drink up. Better?
What? Who? What are you doing here? Who are you?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the Rat House? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumiere the Madman.
Well, you don't look crazy.
Yeah. But I am. I see things in my head that aren't real. And then I point my finger at the wrong people. I'm the biggest madman in Kuttenberg.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I'm not doing it for myself. I'm afraid he might kill one of my friends.
A friend, eh? That's not good. Not good at all. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm stubborn, and I don't have any other choice. I'll get to the truth, no matter what.
You think that will suffice?
If not, I'd have been dead long ago.
Nice.
Bled out from a human arrow.
All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid, too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls. Stanya and Zdena.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the Church of St. Peter and Paul, Father Prokop, raised her. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards. An awful sight to behold.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. A murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the 2 girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute called the Hole in the Wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot of blood. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The Hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very forthcoming with information.
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people have nothing but thievery and deceit in their eyes. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chatty either.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this mole in the hole.
Yeah. He still runs the place.
We have ties with that guy.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time looking for it. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted to do any more digging.
But if her body was never found, how do you know she was killed?
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. A real live one. Lively as the devil. She was a thief. A pickpocket. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a catchpole. It's worth a try. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory. That would be a great help.
And what about the other two victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. They called her Chestnut. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. So I couldn't find out anything more. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty, and knew she could do better than some farmhand.
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to see what else I can find out from the mother. Where can I find her?
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of grief. It's sad to say, but we can't help those two dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation either. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything about them.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some suspect. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And they threw up at the sight. Or fainted.
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act. I'd swear none of them did it.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long years I was a scribe for Kuttenberg's bailiff. Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something going on. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in the city.
Exactly. There are common folk, too. There's a lot more of them, and their troubles are usually more serious. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself. I was pretty good at it, too.
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here, and I believe they were all murdered by the same killer. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4, the most recent ones. By now, we won't learn anything about the first 2. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by Father Prokop from the Church of St. Peter and Paul. He should know the most about her. The next were Stanya and Zdena. Their bodies weren't found, but we assume they also became victims of the same murderer. They both hung around a tavern they called the Hole in the Wall. Stanya was an alehouse maid, and Zdena a pickpocket. And the last victim is Alice now, also a maid. What they all have in common is that they were young, beautiful, and brunette.
Good. I know everything I need to know.
When you learn something more, stop by and see me. You've aroused a bit of hope in me, lad. I hope you won't disappoint me.
That alehouse must have something to do with it.
That old coot will outlive us all. No, it was Jan, the beanpole.
Him? But he was fit as a fiddle. What happened? I was dead in the morning, and folks
Lord be with you.
I just thinking of a sin is a sin. Good day to you. What brings you here?
I'd like to improve my reputation.
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
I fear for my sister. She's also a maid.
Yes. Fear for those close to you is commendable. What would you like to hear?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you? What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka? She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Groll family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my own daughter.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, when she was smaller, it was fine, but when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarko was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
Easy. Might as well.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
She was pregnant. Maybe that's important?
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since she was my brother's.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's. They keep a close eye on that.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music. I'm sure he got her with child.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
That doesn't prove anything.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No, absolutely not.
Why don't you respect Lumiere?
That's my business. You needn't concern yourself about that. I won't tell you anything.
Come on, this is a really important matter. You can trust me.
That's just what a person I shouldn't trust would say.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumiere. That man has gone completely mad.
Interesting.
Well, well. Can't believe this is just lying around.
You can have my bad bread, dude.
My God, that looks like a bloody expensive horse. Are you going to go run into the gaffer, you piece of shit?
Nice and safe.
Good doggy.
Whoa!
Good day to you.
I definitely want to do that. Who is this?
Where did the skeleton come from?
Ah, another newcomer who hasn't heard of Hugo. I'm happy to tell you because it's a hilarious tale. Have you got the time?
Go ahead.
I sure do. Tell me.
Well, then listen carefully. 10 years ago, back when the tavern belonged to another fella, miners used to gather here and play dice for money. Miners are not very rich, and they often lost what little they had to live on. But their wives were understandably pissed off, so they came up with a plan. They clubbed together to buy a skeleton of a hanged man from the executioner, and they hid it in the cupboard where the miners kept their dice, thinking they would take it as a sign from God. But when the drunken men opened the cupboard and saw the skeleton, they were amused. They sat it down next to them, gave her a drink, and even threw the dice when it was the skeleton's turn.
The wife's plan didn't work out so well.
The miners don't come here anymore, but Hugo, as he came to be called, stayed. The miners don't come here anymore, but Hugo, as he came to be called, stayed. I'm telling you, he'll be still sitting here long after our bones are in the ground. Good story, right?
Great. I'd have a drink with Hugo in a heartbeat.
Now that we broke the ice.
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya? Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. The main thing is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
Good.
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
As Spends money. Good guess. I'm guessing he spends money. Actually, they come often. Well, bad guess could come often too.
Depends if they're loyal to your tavern and come often.
Trust is all important. I'm plenty happy to talk to folks what faithfully hand their groschen over to me. So, what'll it be, my good man?
I'll give him 10 groschen.
What if I simply paid you and you tell me what I want to know?
Ask away.
I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more. What's it to you?
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink. Didn't you get that?
You're quite the extortionist.
I prefer to be called an enterprising man of trade. So, what'll it be?
Oh, it's easy. Let's try this.
I don't want to pay you any more. I think you could answer my questions directly and not always try to wheedle money out of me. That makes it look like you might have some motive for keeping me from finding out anything about that murder.
Nonsense. How could you think that? Come on. Ask me anything you want.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. Nobody saw or heard anything. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour. And you won't meet many people on the street, neither.
What was Stanya like? What can you tell me about her?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nib it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she also had another suitor.
Someone from the city?
No, a charcoal burner. I heard he was from somewhere in the, Verchlitz Valley. I think his name was Barton?
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel, a skirt chaser. What more can I say? He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the Miners' Tavern in the evenings. But sometimes he shows up here, too.
You think he might have been the one who...
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while and only came back not long ago. It could be him, all right. I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows what, like bloody spies. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they say, opportunity makes the thief.
Or in this case, a murderer. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately.
Well, I got bad news for you. She had two close friends, but you won't get much out of either of them.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared. And she died. And the other one got married and moved away.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open. Most of her things were gone, but some remained. And there was blood all over the place.
Blood? Was there a lot?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. But they were near everywhere. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't do it in that chamber.
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you. In the Verchlitz Valley.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. All I know is he's a charcoal burner. So if I was you, I'd look somewhere around the charcoal kilns.
That's all I need to know. Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then, piss off. You won't get any answers here. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Let's try it.
Why so rash? That kind of attitude will do you no favors. Let's make a deal. You tell me everything you know about Zdenna, and I'll make sure you're no worse for wear.
Ah. You're the lord what that whore robbed. Don't worry about it. She weren't nothing but a lying bitch.
So, if I understand correctly, we can make a deal?
For the right price, I'll tell you all I know.
Oh my gosh.
Is this the right price?
You fucking bet it is. Ask away and I'll tell you everything.
Where can I find Zdenna?
Aye. That's what I like to fucking know too. Last time I saw her... Well, that'd be back when she managed to fleece you.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to find her.
I can well imagine. Well, she went to Ravstein Mill. It's quite a long ways away. She had some unfinished business with some bloke called Pint. Ain't nobody seen her since then.
Did she have any friends or lovers who'd know more? Did anybody come here to see her?
Who come to see that bitch? She was always off somewhere, seeing someone. Although, once...
Someone came to see her?
Well, aye. Some stuffed frock came here once. All old and decrepit. He said he had some job for her. That she should leave behind her sinful life and all that shit. But he left empty-handed. She told him to go to hell.
Do you know who that priest was?
Some fucking Prokop or Pravoslav or some such shit. But that reminds me. I saw her a couple of times with another bastard. That fucking bard, William.
What do you know about this priest?
Not much. Seems they knew each other from before. And he had some job for her somewhere. Serving as a maid or something. But she weren't stupid. She told him to fuck right off.
And did he go?
Aye, indeed. He didn't look like the kind of fella that'd knock some sense into a woman. I think he just told her if she changed her mind to come and see him. Or some shit like that.
And could she have changed her mind and gone to him? And that's why nobody's seen her?
No. She took off. I'm sure about that.
And could she have run away with this bard, William?
With that lily-livered fop? Well, he ain't been seen in town for some time, but I think someone was out to get him. He still don't come here no more. He plucks that loot of his in the miners' tavern. The wee shit.
What can you tell me about Zdenna?
What do you want to hear? I try to keep her out of trouble, but there's just no helping some women.
So you were taking care of her?
Well, just in front of the others. Other than that, she did what she wanted. Always made her mind up and did things her own way.
So you weren't too fond of her?
Not really, no. But she did have a knack for making coin.
I've heard enough.
So, I went to see my brother. And? To talk about the inheritance.
But your father's still alive, isn't he?
Aye.
Give me
But
something
he
to eat,
drools
thanks.
all over himself. And he gets this feeling that his time's nearly up.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Sure. Why not?
Only because it's you.
Look, offer a bit more and we can make a deal. Very well then. Thank you, sir. And come again.